Hi, I'm Steve Bigger, Director of Equity Research at S&P Capital IQ. Welcome to this week's edition of Equity Analyst Forum. With me today on Equity Analyst Forum is financials analyst Ken Leon. Ken, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
So this week's focus stock of the week is Lazard. Can you tell us a bit about their business?
Well, Lazard principally has two businesses. One that's widely known as their investment banking business. It's about 55% of revenues. The other is a very stable, cash flow driven institutional investment business, asset management.
So the shares have lagged a bit, right? The peers, so can you give some color on that?
Yeah, the shares have, even though they're up 12% this year, the capital markets have been very strong. Peers, some are up 20, 30%. Lazard is mostly focused in on mergers and acquisitions and asset management. The other areas that have done extraordinary have been trading in the capital markets and underwriting. Those aren't Lazard's businesses.
Okay, what about M&A? What's the environment today?
M&A is a show me story. What we saw in the first quarter were the announced transactions were very positive, but the closed transactions or bookings were disappointing. We think on announced transactions for the industry, Lazard actually moved up in the rankings. So we're looking for a much more favorable environment second half of this year.
So what metrics is the company using for growth in this environment?
Well, the delta factor is clearly M&A. And in M&A, you look at a number of key drivers. One is CEO confidence is moving into positive from negative. Second, corporate cash is at record levels. The opportunities for investing in emerging markets looks very good. Private equity firms are raising more money. Opportunities with rising company stock prices for M&A. We think this is all in front of them, so that's the opportunity.
So this is a name that's had some activist shareholders involved, and so what would you say about that and just corporate governance in general?
Well, yeah, the management today really came on board 2009, and we've seen much more reception to issues from governance, increased number of independent directors, a steady flow in terms of dividends and buybacks. An activist, Nelson Peltz, owns 5%, but he's positive in terms of management's strategy.
How about target price? How are you evaluating this company? What kind of upside, and how do you get those metrics?
Well, I said it's a show me story. We see 25% upside to our $40 target. That's about 17 times forward earnings. It's about the midpoint of the historic range. We think here's a company that if we see some traction in the M&A market, this is going to be a great stock to be in.
Great. Thanks, Ken.
Thank you.
And that's been this week's edition of Equity Analyst Forum. We'll see you again next week.